Methodist Univ be very close, so I reckon Iowa are going to be the favourites for this race, Mo.
Yeah, hopefully we get another tight race as this fantastic event for student women dates.
Yeah, so Iowa University against Edinburgh University. D crew just pointing out the steering there, Mo.
Yeah, it's surprising for a Coxed boat to have slightly awkward steering as it coming into the middle, but that could be a pressure thing rather than the rudder, the bows being too keen and driving too hard off the start.
Oh, look at the Iowa crew. There's a lot of power in that boat. They row in the Big Ten Conference, which is kind of in the Midwest, which is going to be joined next year by Washington and Cal because the Pac-12 ceases to exist, and it's a very competitive conference, that.
And it's showing here. They've taken on the start, and they look really good, actually, the way their body movements are coming through together. They're an aggressive, physical, strong crew.
Yeah, their coach, Jeff Garber, I was talking to him just earlier. We're looking at Edinburgh there. We'll talk about Jeff earlier. And you can see there Freya Hewson in the 7 seat. She was girls captain of Aberdeen School. She raced at Henley last year. She's moved up into Edinburgh University. Just in the bow seat, you can see Charlotte Glasby, no stranger. There she is on the right of the picture to the Henley course. And Edinburgh are really hanging on to Iowa.
Yeah, they really are. They're actually settled into a nice race rhythm. They've probably got a little bit of a better transition as you come into that race rhythm. Just on you find your race rate, 36, 37, 38, 8's a rating, a lot higher than what we're used to when I was rowing. So it's quite interesting to see how they handle this next bit to the barrier.
It's going to be fascinating. So Iowa have got that early lead. They are on the far side. Those women from the Midwest, they row in Iowa City on the Iowa River at the Beckwith Boathouse, which is in the centre of that. And Edinburgh are moving back. I think they are really minimising the gap now and probably pretty much level.
You spoke, Martin, earlier about this event having some tight races, and it looks like we've got another one on our hands. Edinburgh University B crew have taken on the challenge laid down by University of Iowa, and they're matching them stroke for stroke.
Yeah, Iowa went out quickly, which I guess was something that their coach Jeff Garbutt has asked them to do. He said he couldn't be more proud of the Hawkeyes, which is the nickname for the Iowa crew. They've done every challenge, they've handled every challenge that has been thrown at them, and they've got boats that have qualified for Henley, Women's Henley, which is a great job. So he's absolutely delighted with what his crew has done. And we'll just have a look at the Iowa crew as they come past. Still got that lead, Iowa. And right there with the red cap on in the 7 seat is Carrie Evans from Johannesburg, South Africa. She was a member of the South African Junior International Rowing Team and went to St Andrews Girls' School. There she is, great shot of her in the 7 seat. And I think that's Emma Dabnik in the stroke seat. And there's a couple of these Iowans, Mo, who went to the British schools. So I think she went to Shiplake, Emma, and Scarlett Mallam in the 2 seat was a Shiplake, and Emma is stroke of the British Women's 8 at the Under-23 World Championships. So 2 British girls been recruited by the Iowa University.
It's got some great pedigree, and that lovely shot from behind us just shows how ferocious these women are rowing down this course. There's no let up. This looks like we've got a great humdinger on our hand here, Martin, and it's really close to call. Edinburgh might have just snuck in the lead over the last 100, 200 metres down the course. I'm not sure whether you agree.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Edinburgh are in the lead. We're at our boom camera. We're around about halfway, or just coming over to halfway. This race has really got to unfold. Iowa are just losing a little bit of traction in this race. It's nothing serious at the moment. If you're watching in Iowa, these women can still do it, but at the moment Edinburgh have got the surge, and they are going out to what, third of a length?
Yeah, third of a length, and they're looking like they're just starting to unravel a little bit. They've lost some of that sharpness around the front. They're losing a little bit of grip where a lot of the 8 speed is generated in this event, where Edinburgh has remained really cool and calm throughout most of this race, you know, apart from that first 20-30 strokes on the island.
So Natalie Mayer, the Cox of the Iowa boat, she came to Iowa University as a walk-on, which meant she didn't know anything about rowing before she came to Iowa, and she's got a real job to do to help motivate her crew back into this race. They look like they're hurting, don't they? I mean, all the cuff in the bow seat. She really looks like she's dying up there, doesn't she? Yeah,
she really does look like she's driven as much as she can give. You can see some body movement around in the shoulders and maybe carrying a bit too much tension. She needs to loosen up as they come through the enclosures, because this isn't over yet.
So University of Iowa on the right of the picture. If you've just joined us, this is a very exciting race. Iowa led off and Edinburgh B crew have rowed through them. And this Edinburgh B crew look absolutely fantastic. Just pick out a couple of them. We talked about Freya Hewson and Charlotte Glasby in the 7 and bow seats, but we've got Lucy McLean, Sophie Morgan, Ella McCannum, Olivia Burns, Charlie Fate, Beatrice Beaver, and Cox Pat Moody, coached by John Hickson. And he is going to be sat in the launch not saying anything, because you're not supposed to say anything in the launch, but he's just going to be loving this move that his crew have made.
Yeah, he's going to be really enjoying it. He's coached some under-23 gold medal winning crews in his career, and I'm sure he would really appreciate and enjoy this race for what's just happened. To be behind in an 8, you can't underestimate how much psychologically challenging that is, especially for the rowers in the stern. The Cox can see, but the rowers in the stern might not be able to see the crew from Iowa in their periphery, so it's actually a real strong mental game to be able to come back and bring them level and then start to see them in the front of them.
I think this race is done now. I don't see Iowa can come back from that position. They were 8th in the Big Ten Conference. They've really done well over here. They're probably shortening up a little bit to try and get a bit more rate, Mo.
Yeah, they're shortening up, and then with that comes its own side effects of if you're not at grip in the front like we spoke of earlier, if your sharpness around the catch, you're probably losing too much. Distance per stroke has lost, whereas Edinburgh has stayed and remained really long throughout, and they've been very cool and calm, and for a B crew this is extremely impressive.
So thanks to Josh Butler for pointing out to us that Iowa using those comp blades. Mo, you ever use them?
No, I've never used those. Apparently they're meant to give you extra grip.
So coming up to the finish line, it is Edinburgh University B crew. What a race from those women. Fantastic. And Pat in the stern, the Cox, and Iowa, well, go down. Must have looked so promising to them at the start, leading Edinburgh. But the result of that race was that Edinburgh University B beat University of Iowa from the USA in the Ireland Challenge Cup.